Hey guys, so I'm just going to give a longer review of World War Z because in my quick review of it, I didn't really talk about it much. So I'm gonna start off with the plot. And I mean, what the movie was about was there's this guy. I don't remember what his name was. I can look it up really quick. I'm on IMDb. So Brad Pitt's character's name was Gary Lane, and this guy Gary Lane, he's a retired UN officer, and he now has a wife and kids, two kids. They're both girls, and they're little girls. One of them seemed like she was 8. One seemed like she was like 5. So he's been having a good life. He's been doing stuff, and then they're all like going somewhere. I don't really say where they're going, and then the zombie apocalypse pretty much starts happening, and they go to the ship, and this old like UN ship, and his like old boss says you have to help. We need you to help us deal with the zombie apocalypse. Go on this trip, go on this mission thing to maybe find out how the zombie apocalypse started, where it started, and see if there's a way we can stop it, find a cure, something along those lines. And it seems like in this movie, it doesn't really say, but it kind of seems like in this movie, the people, they don't really seem to die. It seems more like they turn into it, so they're kind of still alive. I mean, there was this scene where I don't remember what happened exactly, but I mean they do call them the undead, but I mean you don't really see anybody die from it. I mean you do see people get killed, but you although they do see this guy and he gets attacked by a zombie, and then you see him lying on the ground and then turns into a zombie. So it does look like that's how it happens, that it's still the whole undead thing, but it doesn't really make it 100% clear. But it's pretty obvious that that's what it is, because, I mean, what else would it be? You know what I mean? And, so, Brad Pitt's character, Gary, he goes on this, I guess you could say, like, a quest to, find out, like, how the zombie apocalypse started. And they do call the zombies in this movie zombies, which is pretty cool. So they kind of act like that zombie fiction exists. Like, I mean, you never really could say zombies like with a straight face, but now we can't. So it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing as the Walking Dead comic book. Because in the comic book they say that they call them zombies, and they mention like we can say them normally now. Like Rafe says that in the comic book. I've only read the first like compendium of it. So that's all I've read of it. But anyway, and I really don't um uh Brad Pitt's wife and kids. I mean, they could have not been in the movie, and the movie would not it wouldn't be that much different. Like there's a scene where the zombie apocalypse starts happening, and then Brad Pitt's just like driving through like a huge mob of people running and zombies, and then the little girl's like, "I want my blanket," and I was watching, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like that would suck. Like being in zombie apocalypse and a little girl's like, "I want my blanket." That would suck, and it did suck. Um, and and the little kid and the little girl just keeps like shouting and shouting about it, and I sort of got I would just like throw the little girl out the door. I would be like, "Sorry, little girl, you've been a nice little girl to me, but you're being really annoying when I'm stressed about the zombie apocalypse. You need to go." That's what I would do. But and the wife is pretty annoying because there's a scene later on where we're trying to sneak past zombies, and the wife, she calls them and then the ringtone goes off, and zombies start chasing them, and then like a whole bunch of like American soldiers get killed. American soldiers that were trying to protect their country, had lives and families, got killed because some desperate wife had to call her husband. So this movie reminds me why I don't want wife and kids. But anyway, so I really enjoy the way that they treated this, like the way they handled, the way they, I guess you should say, portrayed the zombie apocalypse. It was done in a pretty cool way, which I actually think could work. I mean, during the first like two, I mean, like the first like 25 minutes or so is of like the first 3 days of the zombie apocalypse, and it's shown pretty realistic. There's just absolute, pretty much they're in Philadelphia. Um, it's one of the and yeah, they're in Philadelphia, a big city, and there's absolute chaos. Like people are running rampant, and there's people looting stores. They pretty much go to Philadelphia to, I think, New York. And in both of those cities, there's just absolute chaos. There's looting, there's explosions, people running around screaming, panicking. So that was shown in a pretty good way. And then later on, it shows them in a big, really big ship. And they were letting people on. And I think if they could do that, then they probably would. Not with every ship. There would obviously be like a ship where it's like we're military, we can't let you on. But there's like one ship where they're letting refugees on. It keeps getting fuller and people have to move. And the guy in charge of the ship said to Brad Pitt's character Gary, like half of the people on this ship are just waiting for a bunk bed, and because they don't see the bunk beds, and he says that, which was really, I read that line because it made it more kind of darker. And later on, Brad Pitt he like travels, I guess you could say, around the globe to find out where this how the zombie apocalypse started, and there's a way that they can like take it out, kill it. So and that's obviously takes up place the most of the movie, and I think that the parts where they were in Israel um was probably the best parts because Moldovu, like all like the basically it's about, it shows him in like three different countries. Um, I mean, when he was in South Korea, that was pretty interesting, but it was pretty brief. It only took place like it only took up like 15 to 20 minutes of the movie. But it was interesting. It did kind of, show some stuff, and 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 it kind of answered how the whole thing started. Um, and then when they were in Israel, that was probably the best part because I mean, it answered a lot more questions about the zombie apocalypse, at least pretty much the particular zombie apocalypse in this movie. Um, and there was a whole bunch of zombie action in it, and I don't think that zombies would be able to climb up walls. As I saw in another review, these zombies are like Spider-Man. They like climbed up walls and they're running around. It it would be impossible to survive a zombie apocalypse in this movie. Impossible. There's no way. So the zombies, they would like climb up on the wall, a huge wall, and they just start killing people. But when Brad Pitt and this one woman, when they start running away, they see two people, an old man and like a teenager. Um, they're immune, and zombies aren't doing anything to them. So I mean, so late, and then they escape, and they're in this plane, and then there's just a zombie. Oh, I don't really want to ruin it, but the plane crashes, um, and then they just land. Um, um, then they land um, on some like they land near this lab area, and and I lost my train of thought. And then they find a way to make the cure, and I don't want to spoil the very end, even though I spoiled quite a bit. So I'm just gonna have this be a spoiler review. So I kind of accidentally talked about spoilers that I didn't really mean to. So this is just like a spoiler review, but during my other reviews, I'll try not to accidentally say spoilers. So they found the cure, and I think that the way the cure was pretty interesting. How like it's about like how pretty much zombie apocalypse is like a virus in this movie, um, and so I think so. I mean, it still is. It's pretty much both a virus and the undead. So I liked how they had it be both. And but there was a scene in the movie where they showed a zombie. Brad Pitt was in a room, and there's a zombie. He was moving around. He was like, and everybody in the theater, including me, was laughing. I thought it was hilarious. I just it was silly. I couldn't take it seriously, and there was two scenes like that. So a movie, I mean, it's not very good when a movie has something like that. So, um, I mean, overall, I did enjoy the movie. It was a pretty good movie. It's not the best zombie fiction ever. I mean, it's not. I mean, compared to The Walking Dead, it's crap. But overall, I did enjoy World War Z. It got pretty suspenseful that time. But there's a scene in like the scene in the movie where they're like walking around trying past zombies. That scene was really suspenseful and scary. But overall, I did enjoy World War Z, and I give it a 7 out of 10.